Florentino Pérez, the most important vein of the most important club in the world. The man knows what he's doing and has been putting together a young squad to support Madrid for at least 10 years. The vein has a plan. Today we're going to talk about the story of Florentino Pérez. My name is Brinox, and let's go to another video. Florentino Pérez was born on the day March 8, 1947, in Madrid, Spain. He grew up in a middle-class family, which valued education and hard work. From a young age, he demonstrated a great interest in engineering and organization, qualities that would later shape his trajectory both in the business sector and in football. Although there are not many details widely publicized about his childhood, it is known that he had an upbringing focused on discipline and study, which led him to enter the Polytechnic University of Madrid, where he graduated in civil engineering. This family and educational environment contributed to developing his strategic vision and ambition, characteristics that became trademarks of his career. Florentino Pérez began his career in the private sector after working in public positions related to infrastructure. In 1983, he joined the company Construcciones Padros and, shortly afterwards, led the merger of that company with two others, giving rise to ACS, Actividades de Construcción y Servicios, in 1997. This merger marked the beginning of a significant transformation, which led ACS to become one of the largest construction and services companies in the world. Under his leadership, Pérez adopted an aggressive expansion strategy based on strategic acquisitions, diversification of activities, and internationalization. He acquired smaller companies and incorporated important assets, which allowed ACS to expand its global presence. Additionally, it diversified the company's businesses to include infrastructure, renewable energy, engineering, and industrial services, ensuring financial stability and positioning ACS as a leader across multiple sectors. Pérez was also responsible for expanding the company's operations to international markets, such as Europe, North America, and Australia, consolidating its position on the global stage. Among ACS' most emblematic projects are major infrastructure works, such as highways, bridges, and high-speed railways, as well as investments in renewable energy, such as wind and solar farms. Pérez has always invested in technological innovation and operational efficiency, which helped the company stand out and adapt to market changes. His strategic vision, based on anticipating trends and reinvesting in new opportunities, was fundamental to ACS' success. As a leader, Florentino Pérez left a remarkable legacy in business. Under his management, ACS became a global reference, with a presence in more than 50 countries and participation in projects of great impact. He prioritized efficient management, the use of advanced technologies, and the balance between growth and sustainability, transforming the company into a model of success in the construction sector. This business mentality was also brought to football when Pérez took over as president of Real Madrid. He applied the same management principles, transforming the club into a global powerhouse. Its strategy included expanding the Real Madrid brand into new markets, increasing revenue from TV rights and merchandising, and strategic investments in major players, the famous Galácticos. Just as he made acquisitions at ACS, Pérez bet on major signings that generated financial and sporting returns. Florentino Pérez assumed the presidency of Real Madrid for the first time in 2000, after beating Lorenzo Sanz in the elections. Sanz, who had led the club to 2 Champions League titles, was seen as the favorite, but Pérez managed to turn the tide by promising a revolution at the club. The main asset of his campaign was the commitment to sign Luís Figo, star of arch-rivals Barcelona, something that seemed impossible at the time. This bold promise, combined with his vision of modernizing the club, was enough to win the trust of the members and lead him to the presidency. As soon as he took over, Florentino implemented his famous Galácticos policy, based on signing players who are globally recognized, not only for their performance on the field, but also for their commercial appeal. Luís Figo was the first big name, followed by Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldo Fenomeno, and David Beckham. The idea was clear: combine sporting talent with global impact, transforming Real Madrid into an international brand. This strategy attracted worldwide attention and brought enormous financial returns, with a significant increase in marketing revenue, shirt sales, and broadcasting rights. In the sports field, the Galácticos also achieved success. Under Pérez's management, Real Madrid won important titles, such as the 2002 Champions League, with Zidane's iconic goal in the final against Bayer Leverkusen. Furthermore, the club won 2 Spanish championships, La Liga, and other trophies, consolidating its position as a football powerhouse. However, this policy also brought challenges. The obsession with global stars created an imbalance in the cast, with little attention paid to the foundation and building a solid team. Players who were important in the functioning of the team, but were less popular in the media, were passed over, which led to a drop in performance in the last years of his tenure. This approach was widely criticized, especially when results began to disappear. In 2006, after a series of seasons without major achievements and facing internal and external pressure, Florentino Pérez decided to resign as president. He admitted that his Galácticos policy had created an unsustainable environment where a focus on stardom had compromised the team's competitiveness. His departure marked the end of a cycle that, despite its ups and downs, left a profound impact on the history of Real Madrid and on world football. Florentino Pérez returned to the presidency of Real Madrid in 2009 after winning the elections unopposed. His return was marked by the promise to rebuild the club, both sportingly and institutionally, and return to Real Madrid the prominence lost in previous years. To achieve this, Pérez bet on a new era of Galácticos, investing heavily in signing big names in world football. In his first year back, he brought Cristiano Ronaldo, Kaká, Karim Benzema, and Xabi Alonso, forming a base that would be fundamental for future successes. This new approach marked the beginning of a golden era for the club. Under Pérez's leadership, Real Madrid won 6 Champions League titles in 2014, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2022, and 2024, a historic feat that consolidated the club as the competition's biggest winners. The partnership with Zinedine Zidane as coach was essential during this period, with the Frenchman guiding the team to 3 consecutive Champions League titles between 2016 and 2018, an unprecedented feat in the modern era. In addition to his sporting success, Pérez also modernized the club off the field. He led the renovation of the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium, transforming it into one of the most advanced stadiums in the world, with cutting-edge technologies to improve the fan experience and increase revenue. Under his management, Real Madrid expanded its global presence, leveraging new digital platforms and exploring emerging markets, which established the club as one of the most valuable sports brands in the world. However, Pérez's tenure was not without controversy. In 2021, he led the attempt to create the European Super League, a project that promised to revolutionize football, but which faced strong opposition from fans, clubs, and sporting bodies. The negative repercussion forced Pérez and the other creators to back down, although he continues to defend the idea as a solution to European football's financial problems. Pérez also had a complex relationship with coaches and players. Cases such as the departure of Iker Casillas, one of the club's greatest idols, and the break with Cristiano Ronaldo, who left Real Madrid in 2018, generated criticism about his management of important figures. Furthermore, Sergio Ramos' departure in 2021 was another controversial episode, with many questioning the way the club deals with its veterans. Despite the controversies, Florentino Pérez is widely recognized as one of the most successful managers in football history. His strategic vision and ability to transform Real Madrid into a global power, both on and off the field, left a legacy that will be remembered for decades. In recent years, Florentino Pérez has demonstrated a strategic change in his sports management, increasingly focusing on signing promising young players for Real Madrid. This vision of the future reflects a balance between the club's tradition of pursuing great stars and the need to build a solid foundation to ensure long-term success. Pérez noticed that the transfer market had changed drastically, with the values of established players reaching astronomical levels. In response, he began investing in emerging talent before they become inaccessible. Clear examples of this strategy are the signings of players such as Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Eduardo Camavinga, Aurelien Tchouameni, Jude Bellingham, among others. These athletes arrived at the club young, with great potential, and quickly became key players in the squad. This approach is not only financial, but also strategic. Pérez understands that developing young talent allows the club to mold players according to Real Madrid's philosophy, creating a generation that understands the club's culture and expectations from an early age. Furthermore, these players can offer sporting and financial returns, whether through performance on the field or appreciation in the market. Another important point of this vision is the combination of youth with experience. Pérez has kept veteran players like Luka Modric and Toni Kroos in the past year to mentor the younger players, creating an environment of learning and continuity. This integration between generations has been one of the factors in the club's recent success. Florentino Pérez's vision of the future is also aligned with the modernization of Real Madrid as an institution. He knows that football is constantly evolving and that to keep the club at the top, it is essential to invest in innovation, planning, and talent. By investing in promising young players, Pérez ensures that Real Madrid will remain competitive and relevant, regardless of changes in the global sporting landscape. Under the leadership of Florentino Pérez, Real Madrid underwent a transformation that established it as one of the most valuable and recognized sports brands in the world. Since his first management, Pérez has applied a business vision to the club, treating it as a global organization and not just as a football team. He understood that modern football demands more than success on the field. It is necessary to create a brand that transcends borders and connects emotionally with fans on all continents. This transformation began with the Galácticos policy, which attracted global attention by signing stars such as Luís Figo, Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldo, and David Beckham. These players have not only elevated sporting performance, but also boosted the club's commercial appeal, increasing revenues from marketing, merchandising, and broadcasting rights. Pérez continued this strategy in his second management, with signings such as Cristiano Ronaldo and, more recently, young talent such as Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham, who combine sporting and commercial potential. Additionally, Real Madrid has expanded its digital presence, leveraging social media and streaming platforms to connect with new audiences and explore emerging markets, such as Asia and North America. The modernization of the Santiago Bernabéu, transformed into a multifunctional and technologically advanced stadium, is also part of this strategy, creating new sources of revenue and offering unique experiences for fans and sponsors. Florentino Pérez was a pioneer in treating football as a global business, introducing financial management and marketing practices that inspired other clubs around the world. He implemented rigorous financial management, focused on maximizing revenue and controlling expenses, ensuring the club's sustainability. This approach has allowed Real Madrid to remain competitive even in times of global economic crisis. In marketing, Pérez transformed the club into a revenue-generating machine. He was one of the first to fully exploit the commercial potential of players, creating strategic partnerships with major brands and expanding the sale of official products. The internationalization of the brand was also a milestone, with pre-season tours in strategic markets and the strengthening of the fan base outside of Europe. Florentino Pérez is, without a doubt, one of the most influential and controversial figures in the history of football. His career at the helm of Real Madrid is marked by great achievements, such as 5 Champions Leagues, the modernization of the club, and its transformation into a global brand. However, he also faces criticism, especially for his Galácticos policy, which led to imbalances in the squad, and for his attempts at controversial projects such as the European Super League. His negotiation skills, his strategic vision, and his focus on financial results are aspects that define his leadership. But at the same time, his pragmatic and often impersonal style generates divisions between fans and critics.